Hello everyone, and welcome to this webinar class on this professional ethics and Indian Constitution exam preparation. This is purely meant for exam preparation and assignment that are given to you. So the first question. So today we are dealing with human values. Today we are discussing about human values. The first question, let us say, define human values. So here we need to say what exactly is the definition of define engineering ethics. So here we need to speak about or we have to define what is engineering ethics. So here it reads as engineering ethics is defined by the codes and standards of conduct. This means this engineering ethics is defined as certain codes, that is rules, and set of rules, that is standards, which has to be actually conducted. It is just for not for reading and leaving, but it has to be conducted, and it is endorsed by engineering societies. So this is not one company or one organization or one individual who is saying what an engineer has to do. It is endorsed, means it is approved. It is said, yes, these are the standards that need to be followed, not by one person, but the professional societies, where various people of different levels come, sit together and discuss, and then they will decide, okay, these are the things that need to be followed. Okay. With respect to a particular set of beliefs, attitude, and habits displayed by the individual or group. That means they sit and discuss and they say all these standards are formulated based on the belief system, what is good and what is bad, okay, how the society will receive this, and whether it is really correct or not correct. So based on many other factors, they will decide attitudes and habits that need to be cultivated by an engineer or another set of group, that may be a company, organization, an institution, anything it may be. Okay. So this is the meaning of the first paragraph. Another important goal of engineering ethics is the discovery of the set of justified moral principles of obligations. Means it need to explore, or it need to understand, and it need to discover what exactly is the proper moral principle and what has to be imposed, means mandatorily done, and how the right and wrong need to be authoritatively said, means which is right and what is wrong, that need to be judged, or that need to be analyzed, and it need to be verified, okay, when an engineer does some action. So all this has to be done. Okay, to do all this, engineering ethics helps a lot. So it is one of the purpose of engineering ethics, and not only defining them but also applying them to the present situation or whichever situation that comes up. Okay. Engineering is the largest profession, and the decision and the action of engineers affect all of us in almost all areas of our lives, namely public safety, health, and welfare. So now engineers are working on various solutions. Maybe medical health, the equipments that are used in medicine, the equipment used in airplanes, automobile, computers, everywhere the engineers are there. So they are something like working background. So they have to be very careful. They need to be very ethical in their work. So to help all this, engineering ethics is very, very important subject to understand. Okay, so this was about define engineering ethics. Now let us go to the second one, state two approaches of engineering ethics. So there are two major approaches to engineering ethics. First one is microethics. Micro means very small, a minute, what we can say. This deals with the decisions and problems of individuals, professionals, and companies. The small company, any person or an individual, an engineer who is working on a project, or a professional who is working individually. So their problems, their ethical issues are studied. They are understanding ethics in a one particular method. So that approach, they approaching engineering ethics, we can say it as microethics. Macroethics is about the large scale. So it deals with societal problems on a regional and national level. Means what is the problem on a wide range of people compared to a nation, overall particular region. Okay. Say for example your own city, what is the problem that is being faced particular to your area, and how an engineer or how a professional should work in that particular area. What is right and wrong about that particular area. Okay. Not about that area, but what is considered as right and what is considered as wrong, what may harm and what may not harm that particular area. Okay, so that is what we are speaking about. Here I am not going to discuss in detail as we have discussed in the classroom, but it will be a very short approach for you to understand. Okay. An example that is given here is global issues, collective responsibilities of groups such as professional societies and consumer groups. So maybe there is a group formed to understand what are the needs of the customers, okay, and then solving the problems that are rising. So all this can be an example for macroethics. Or a set of people who are working towards the environmental protection of a particular city or a village. So yes, okay, so that also can be a group which is concerned with the macroethics. They are looking at the ethics in a macro level. Let us come to this. List the different meanings of ethics. Okay, so here we have two different meanings of ethics. We can understand ethics in two ways, one normative way and one more is descriptive way or descriptive meaning. When we speak about normative meaning, here we are speaking about knowing values, moral values. We are speaking about finding accurate solutions to the moral problems and justifying moral judgments in engineering practices. Whether a particular circuit that we have designed, will it harm the nature? Is it in the acceptable limits? That is what we are thinking here. Is it morally correct? What we have given the solution. That is what we are thinking. Study on decisions, policies, and values that are morally desirable in engineering practice and research. Here, we need to already, maybe some case studies are there, so we need to update ourselves to understand what exactly is correct action, ethically correct action, whenever we take a decision, when we are actually doing some engineering project. Then using the code of ethics and standards and applying them in their transactions by engineer, means whatever the code of ethics that are given by any society or the profession as it demands, whether an engineer is applying them, we need to actually understand and apply them. So this is what we are speaking about in normative sense. The descriptive sense refers to what specific individual or group of engineers believe, act without justifying their actions or belief. Means descriptive means here they have understood well in detail, and a set of people are following that particular understood ethics at their level. They may not be saying, okay, this is what is required. They may not be made a questionnaire list of things. Just they are acting on what they have understood firmly as ethical principles. Okay. So this is what is descriptive sense. So let us go to this distinguish between morality and ethics. So what is the difference between morality and ethics? When we speak about morals, it is more general and prescriptive based on customs and traditions. Based on the customs, based on our tradition, certain rules, certain way of life is mandated. So that is what exactly comes under morality. Whereas when we come to the ethics, it is specific and descriptive. It is specific to a particular action. It is specific to a particular profession. And it is something like morals and ethics are not completely different. They reflect each other. That means whatever is said very generally as morals, they are very specifically given to this, okay, in the ethics. Okay. More concerned with the results of wrong action when done. Generally, we speak about this. Okay, we also have a song, "Jhoot bole kawa kaate." Means if at all you lie, then a crow will bite you. So here, instead of saying you should not lie, we are speaking about what should not be done. That is, when you do something wrong, what is the punishment? What is the result of a wrong action? If you lie, the wrong action, the result or the punishment will be the crow biting. Okay. So here, on the other hand, if we speak about ethics, it speaks about what is the right action. It is something like this. You need to be always truthful. Okay. If at all you are not truthful, or when you are, okay, when you don't do this right action, if at all you are not truthful, okay, that means if you lie, what happens? If at all you are, okay, I hope you understood this. The thrust on judgment and punishment in the name of God or by laws. Okay, so you should not lie. So if at all it is, then what is the punishment? It may be because of law, or it may be because of in the name of religion. So all the way, there are many ways how the morality is conveyed, or how the judgment on wrong action and the punishment is conveyed. Here, trust is on influence, means by inspiring to do the right things, educating about doing what happens, what is the benefits of doing right things, training, giving the guidelines, correcting the mistakes, and allowing them to go into the right path. So that is what is concerned about in the ethics. Coming to the fourth point, in case of conflict between two, morality is given the top priority because damage is more. Here, if at all we need to select between two situations, okay, so then what exactly is according to morals, family morals maybe, or a human morals maybe. So what exactly is the right thing according to morals? That is picked as the best one. And because the damage, if at all morality is in terms of morality, the damage is more, and it is more common and basic. Moralities generally give us the basic living habits. If that is something like compromised, so what happens is we may enter into a bigger problem. Here it is considered as a less serious, hence second priority is given, less common but relevant for today. Okay, because my family has a different set of value system. My opposite person whom I am working with or whom I am socially mingling with may have a different set of beliefs. So in today's scenario, ethical principles are more relevant. Okay, so that is why most of the time now ethics are what we are called upon in the companies. So here, as an example, when we say the morally correct or morally wrong things are character flaws, then something corruption, a crime, an extortion, forcibly asking money for or benefits, okay, without any giving back. So that is, or service. So that is what we can say about extortion. Whereas coming to ethics, notions, beliefs about how you are behaving, that is manners, tastes, customs, and what is your understanding or whether you follow law or not. Okay. So legalities, that's what we are speaking about here. This is how ethics and morality is differentiated. Now the fifth question, here it is asking to list different types of values and give few examples. So here you need to list 5 fundamental core human values. What are those 5 core human values? First one is right conduct, peace, truth, love, and non-violence. Okay. And in fact, here it is 2 questions asked. One is the list and one is the example. Okay. So here I have listed few examples. I want you to read this, understand this. These are nothing but a few examples that I have mentioned. Okay. You can pick few and write. So here, by this I'll end my today's online class. Hope this will be reaching you. This will be taken in right. This is my first online class, so maybe there is some lag or some deficiency. In the future classes it will be overcome. I appreciate whatever feedback that comes from you. Share your feedback. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep washing your hands very frequently. Do not go out of your home. And all these 5 questions need to be submitted today by evening 5 o'clock. Sorry, today by evening 4 o'clock. Thank you.